Good evening and welcome. My name is Gatel Ruiz Nicholas, and I am your host for the GRN show. When you think of education, it is everything in every custom, and it is valued as a pathway to success. But before we begin, I would like to ask you to please like, share, and comment on our social media platforms. The Broward County school system is one of the largest in Florida, and it faces many challenges. Members of the Broward County School Board pretty much know what the school year produced, as well as can project what the upcoming school year will bring. With us this evening is one of the newest school board members. We have with us Dr. Jeff Holness. He is a dedicated community leader. He holds Doctorate of Education in Organizational Leadership and a Master's of Science in Education from Nova Southeastern University. He has over 25 years in the field of education and brings a wealth of knowledge to his current role as a school board member. And he represents District 5, I guess, since 2022. So, Dr. Holness, thank you for joining us and welcome.
Thank you so much, Gatel. I really appreciate the opportunity to be on with you. And I know there's a lot going on with the school district, but it's really an honor to serve our students and to really inform the community as to what's happening and how we can better play a role in increasing our student learning outcomes. So thank you so much for having me.
Excellent. And it's really important to bring this type of program to the community, because I know culturally very often people leave the responsibility of educating their children to the school board, but it really is a collaboration. So I want you to talk a little bit about what are the initiatives or programs that the school board of Broward County is currently implementing to support student success and their well-being.
Very good. And it is certainly a concerted effort with the parents, the students, and the school staff to ensure that students are really getting the best out of their school experience. So you're absolutely right, Gatel. Now, there are several programs that we offer at Broward County Schools in terms of supporting student success and supporting their well-being. For example, we offer not only programs, but we also have experts. We have mental health professionals, and these include therapists, family therapists, counselors, school social workers, and school psychologists to support the well-being of our students. And they provide a wide range of services to our students in terms of supporting their mental health. Our school counselors provide counseling sessions. They do small groups. They do classroom lessons to support student success academically and to support their mental health. Now, we also have as well, Gatal, a program that we call Zello. It's a Zello online platform. And that program actually provides instructions and resources to our students in the areas of academic planning, in the areas of career exploration and personal development. In addition to that, we have BRACE advisors at our schools. And the BRACE advisors are really important in helping students to plan their career. We usually start this at about 8th grade, where the BRACE advisors provide support not only in terms of their college career as far as the academic component of it, but also in terms of how to get access to grants and Pell grants and different kind of grants to support their education, so they're not having a lot of student loans at the end of their experience. In addition to that, we have the Life Skills and Wellness program at our schools, which emphasize empathy, resilience, self-management, communication skills, responsible decision making. I mean, there's so many programs. We have the recovery program. We have what we call Metrics, which is a behavioral health screener. And this is usually done to support the mental health of our students. So there's a wide range of different support systems that we provide in Broward County schools.
I was hoping you would mention ESOL, because we are one of the most diverse school districts. And I know when I came to the United States, I was young There was
Yes.
no ESOL. So I had
Yes.
to, really learn it within my first year. And I remember my parents would give me a newspaper, read it, tell me what
Yes.
you just read. But now I know in the past,
Yeah.
we've had a pretty robust ESOL program. So how are we dealing with student whose English is not their first language?
Yes, and that is a very good question, Gatel. In fact, we continue to have a robust ESOL program in every school. And I was actually, I don't know if your audience know this, but when I was a teacher in Broward County Schools, I was the ESOL coordinator for Lions Creek Middle School. So I do have a first-hand understanding of the needs of our ESOL students, and I take this experience with me on the board to advocate for policies that would support programs like ESOL. In
Mhm.
addition, many of our schools have translation support for our students when they're doing certain specific assessment. I know, for example, during the COVID period, Thurgood Marshall Elementary, which is in our district, they really emphasize having translator support to our students, and that made a huge difference in the learning outcome of our online students during COVID. That support system was brought on by the initiative and the I guess the advocacy of the principal to ensure that our online ESOL students have translator support from the district. And we've seen the significant learning outcome as a result. And many schools have done that as well, including Lauderhill 6 through 12. So we continue and we will always continue to support the ESOL programs that are in the schools so students can assimilate and can be able to succeed academically with different language barriers. Yeah.
It's a very that transition from one's home country to the US is very difficult. And I know at one time the school board dedicated an old school out east where you had it was a village. And when I say village, you had nonprofit organization to meet every
Right.
need. And I'm not sure if the school board still has that. It was not only taking care of the ESOL, if there was a nonprofit who handled housing, if there's a nonprofit that handled Medicaid, they were all within that facility. Is that still around?
Well, what I know that we do have what we called, and we implemented that a few years ago, the International Welcome Center. And that center serves as a resource for our ELL students to provide free resources, guidance, and information in navigating Broward County schools. They also play a pivotal role in trying to bring students together. They have ESOL game nights and so on, different events
Nice.
that they provide, and family nights to ensure that our students feel welcome, that they're assimilated in the American culture, and that they're able to function effectively and feel comfortable, not only in terms of their academic, but in terms of their mental well-being. And Gital, as an immigrant to this country as well, I fully understand because I came here when I was 15 years old. I came here from Jamaica, and assimilating in a new culture was very, very challenging. So I understand not only the language barrier, but I understand the getting accustomed to a new culture is quite stressing on our children. And that's a component that we have to make sure we have the resources that their mental well-being and their health is in place as well.
Great, great, great. Well, I think it's a great resource because that assimilation, you know,
Yeah,
and where the students feel they can embrace
yeah,
their uniqueness in their culture without trying to assimilate so much that they forget who they are. So I think that's wonderful.
yeah,
Which brings me to my next question, Chef. You have this diverse population, but Florida is known for its emphasis on standardized testing.
yes.
How does the district approach standardized testing, and what are the strategies that are in place to support students, this diverse population, as
Yeah.
well as educators in preparing for these assessments?
Yes, and Gital, that's a very, very good question. And we find that, taking standardized assessment tests can be quite stressing and challenging for our students of different language backgrounds. And so it is important that we provide support for those students. So I just wanted to kind of get into what those assessments look like, and then sort of elaborate on the support that we offer. So we have what we call further assessment of student thinking, which is called the FAST testing. That's the primary standardized testing. And there are three testing periods. We have what we call progress monitoring one, that usually takes place in August, September. And that's just to get a baseline data as to where students are. And then we work on those learning gaps that's indicated in the progress monitoring one. And then we have progress monitoring two, which is called PM2. That's usually around January. And that's to see if there are improvements from PM1 to PM2 and if there are still existing learning gaps. Once we ascertain those learning gaps, we continue to focus on that. And then the real test is the PM3, which is the final result. And that usually takes place around April, May. And the PM3 will then be used to go on to students' records and so on. Now, we have different interventions that we put in place so students can continue to, to succeed. We have Saturday opportunities that we provide to help students with test-taking strategies. And we share these test-taking strategies with our families and our students so they can do better on tests. Now, one of the things that I'm trying to advocate, because I've listened to some of our ESOL students, is that they would love to see some sort of a translator component with the actual test, the PM3, so they can better understand what the questions are asking. So there's still need for more improvement, but we do provide opportunities that they can understand test-taking strategies, how to look at questions. But I will continue to advocate on the language barrier component so they can actually fully understand what the questions are asking and be able to better make choices in terms of their answers. So yes, there is need for improvement, but we are moving in that direction as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So just as a point of clarification, these tests are taken from K to 12 or first grade to 12th grade, or at what point are these assessments applied?
Right. So usually the assessments are taken in elementary school. It really counts at third grade because third grade is a promotion year.
Yes.
Right. So in third grade, it's really essential that students are ready to succeed, because third grade is when the district will decide if students will repeat a grade or they'll move on. So I think third grade is really where it starts to count, and it continues throughout middle school where students take these different tests. In high school, they take different end of course exams and so on, which have equal weight to their success. But I would say what I would encourage our listeners to do is to be sure that your children have a pretty strong background from pre-K to second grade so they can succeed in third grade where it really matters. It also matters, Gittel, in eighth grade, because eighth grade will determine if they move on to high school, so that's really important as well. And what we found out is if we can get our children prepared and ready to succeed by third grade, it usually indicates how well they'll do in middle and high school. So having a great, strong educational experience from pre-K to second grade is really important. And I cannot overemphasize to our parents to please do everything you can to provide the additional support that by third grade your children are pretty strong academically.
Good to know. Good to know. We're going to take a short break and we will be right back.
Hello, I'm Dr. Jeff Holness, Broward County School Board member representing District 5. Today I stand before you as a proud Jamaican immigrant to share my personal connection and relationship to American Caribbean Heritage Month. This month holds profound significance for me, as it allows me to celebrate and honor my heritage while recognizing the immense contributions of Caribbean Americans. I recognize the importance of promoting cultural understanding and appreciation, breaking down stereotypes, and fostering unity among diverse communities. I use this month as an opportunity to share my culture with others such as Haiti, Cuba, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, and many more. Whether it be through sharing traditional recipes, teaching the history and significance of Caribbean celebrations, or engaging in conversations that promote cultural exchange and mutual respect. The United States is a nation of immigrants built upon the dreams and aspirations of people from all corners of the world. Among these immigrants, Caribbean Americans have brought with them a vibrant tapestry of traditions, customs, languages, and talents that have greatly influenced American culture and identity. Caribbean American heritage is a testament to the power of diversity and the strength that arises from different cultures coming together. It is a reminder that our nation is made stronger by embracing and celebrating the contributions of all of its citizens, regardless of their backgrounds or countries of origin. During this month, let us immerse ourselves in the vibrant colors, captivating rhythms, and island cuisines of the Caribbean. Let us engage with the local community, attend cultural events, and educate ourselves about the history and contributions of the region. By doing so, we can foster a greater understanding and appreciation of Caribbean culture. Please join me and my fellow board members as we commemorate Caribbean American Heritage Month. Thank you so much.
We are back. We have with us Dr. Jeff Holness, who is a school board member for Broward County, and we are addressing the education in Broward County. And I'm really pleased to see that we come a long way. We come a long way, and there are some programs to really fit our diverse population here in Florida. So, Dr. Holness, you've gone through a couple of years, since 2022, you've been elected as a school board member for District 5. So tell us, what are the key priorities for the school district, particularly for the next academic year?
Okay, so, Gital, one of the key priorities is that we want to become an A district, and we intend to become an A district. We're actually consistently a B. But I believe, and the board believes, that we can get to becoming an A. And how can we do that? We have to look at where the concerns are. We want to make sure we have the right coaches in the schools, reading and math coaches. We have the right programs. They're targeting specific students that are in need of those programs. We're looking at our learning gaps in different subgroups and so on. And that we're offering programs that will support us becoming an A. So that would be one of the key priorities. The other key priority, I would say, is that 100% of our students are reading on grade level by third grade. And like I said before, the third grade is an important year. The major key priority for us as a school district, and we're all on board, is to make sure 100% of students are reading by third grade level. And this is through use of instruction that is aligned to our science of reading. In addition to that, teachers are being trained in critical content math professional learning to ensure that students have a firm understanding of fundamental math concepts. So these are some of the areas that we're looking at. So we're looking at reading, math, and becoming an A district. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. I have to tell you that one of my pet peeves with the school board has been, and it goes back to when my daughter was in public school, the overcrowding. How are we dealing with that?
Okay, so actually we are, I would say that we are now having probably the opposite problem. We're having issues with under-enrollment. Yes, we used to, years ago, the traditional public schools were probably the major entity in town for educating students. We do have a lot of competition now from charter schools, from different entities, virtual learning, as well as private schools and so on. So we don't seem to have a major overcrowding issue at this time. We're actually looking at redefining and repurposing schools as a result of under enrollment. So we're actually having the opposite problem at this time, and we're looking to make our schools more competitive, Gatal, so we can actually start to gain students instead of losing students. We're looking at how we market our programs, because I think we can do a much better job at marketing the wonderful programs that we offer. Yeah, so we're looking to actually grow enrollment. Overcrowding is not a major issue I see at this time. There might be a few schools that are 100% enrolled, but I think for the most part, the under enrollment is the major problem that we have.
Great, great, great. I believe the school board still has this diversity committee, and
Yeah.
one of the tasks was really to handle diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yes.
Um, when I served on that board, the major issue I saw was the Eastern schools versus the newer Western school, and I'm not sure how we've reconciled that, Dr. Holness.
Yes. Well, there are always concerns revolving equity, and disparities within the schools that we have. We do still have the diversity committee. In fact, the chair of that committee is my appointee, Miss Narni Grant, and the diversity committee actually ensures that not only do they highlight the disparities within schools, but to come up with suggestions to the board as to how we can resolve those. So we're very, very deliberate in looking at these diversities. We've consistently discussed these, I would say, on a very regular basis. We've actually now put in place where the committees will come to the board once every 3 months to provide us with their concerns. That wasn't in place before. And we
Mhm.
take seriously those concerns. Another change, Gatel, that we've made is that the committees will now be able to bring forth their recommendations that will be presented to the board for receipt of those recommendations. And the board will consider whether or not it will implement those recommendations. So yes, we are taking seriously the input of the diversity committee. There is still disparity existing, but we're moving in the right direction to mitigate some of the effects of schools that are on the eastern side being around for a long time and needing much greater attention than schools that are on the western side. Yeah.
Great, great, great. So, what are the challenges you foresee for the near future, and how does the school board plan to tackle them?
Okay, so one of the major challenges that we have is the issue of under enrollment and redefining our schools to be able to resolve those concerns. We've lost about 40, maybe 48, 49,000 students over the last 20 years. As a result, Gitel, we look at under enrollment for schools that are 70% enrolled or below, right? And we have about 66 schools from the 200 plus schools that are under enrolled. And we are looking at about 48 of those schools to redefine, repurpose, or even close. So that's the major issue. And the reason it's a major issue because it's going to impact a lot of families.
Mhm.
We're going to need extensive community engagement to move forward with the process. And I'd also like your listeners to know that on Tuesday, board meeting, which is coming up, the superintendent is going to be discussing redefining, repurposing, or closing schools. So I think that it would be great for your audience to tune in on Tuesday to the school board meeting because that topic will be there. And I would say that is our major challenge coming up because some schools will likely need to be closed. Some schools are going to be redefined and repurposed. We may change, for example, a middle school to a K through 8, and we may close an elementary school as a result. So there are different things that are going to be impacted significantly. And I would encourage parents to tune in Tuesday and to be a part of the process. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, maybe it might be good to have the superintendent down the road to
Sure.
really talk about that on the show because that is very important. That is very important, I think.
It is. Yeah.
Well, Dr. Holness, what are the last words you have for our listeners and viewers?
Well, I'd just like to say it is an honor and I am grateful to be able to serve our community. I want to say Happy Caribbean Heritage Month to all our listeners because the month of June is Caribbean Heritage Month. And as your board member representing District 5, I look forward to continuing to serve you. You can always reach me with any concerns at jeffholness@browardschools.com. Please feel free to reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. And I will guide you in the right direction to resolve any issues you may have.
Dr. Holness, thank you so much. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you sharing your insights and continued success. And happy Caribbean Heritage Month.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you, Gatal. Appreciate it.
All right. Good night.
Thank you.
Welcome to GEO's House of Hope and Restoration. At GHHR, we are dedicated to supporting the spiritual, physical, emotional, and educational needs of orphaned, underprivileged, and homeless children in Haiti, Philippines, and beyond. Our mission is to bring brighter days to the children in their darkest hours, wherever the calling of our Savior Jesus Christ leads us. You can make a difference too, whether it's by donating, volunteering, or hosting an event. Your support can change lives. From school supplies to food supplies to toys and gifts, every contribution counts in saving the lives of these children through the love of God. Please join us in helping children live the life they deserve, filled with love. Together, we can bring hope and restoration to those who need it most.
We're at the end of our show, and I want to re-emphasize that one of the primary issues of the school board is the diverse population. And as you've heard from school board members, there is an under-enrollment, which is a total different opposite of previous problems that we've had. In that regard, they are looking at 66 schools that may be repurposed. It'll be interesting to see. So I think we need to keep an eye on that, simply because many families, probably their children may be going to a school, and that school may no longer serve their purpose. So we definitely, as a community, need to ensure that we keep an eye on it. I was very happy to hear of the different programs that the school board offers. So I am encouraging parents, get on the school board's website, take a look at what program will benefit your children. And most importantly, we have to collaborate with the school board, with the teachers, and to ensure that our children get that comprehensive, holistic education. So get involved, ask questions, and make it a habit to find out how your children feel about school and their teachers. Our children are our future, especially here in Florida. So we must be very involved and vigilant in ensuring that they are just that. They learn well enough, they get educated to become successful adults. So with that, I'd like to say thank you so much for being with us on another segment of the GRN show. And until next week, you have a wonderful Saturday night. Good night.
This is one of our willow boxes. This is just filled with some of the things that we had started gathering for her while I was pregnant.
Yep.
There's her little baby book. This is the outfit that she was gonna maybe wear home from the hospital. All of these. This is the blanket that she was in. And these are her little footprints.
It's okay. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.